what states you were in, but everybody had different time zones. So, I had people in each time zone.
That's a lot to coordinate.
Yeah.
You worked hard even before today.
I'm just hoping it all goes okay.
Hi, Shelley.
Hi, Shelley. We're cousins, Shelley and Shelley.
I guess we better get started.
Okay. Well, as people come in, I will just admit them and they can just join in where we are. So I want to thank everybody for being able to attend today. I know this meant a lot to everyone, and I'm going to have a hard time, so just know that in advance. But I thought maybe we could start by going around and just telling everybody who we are and maybe a little bit on how we met Susan, which I've called her Sue for my whole life. So if I call her that, just know that I'm not used to calling her Susan. But I met Sue when I was in 3rd grade, and we were in school together. And most of our time that we knew each other, we lived in different states or places. So there's only 2 years where we were actually together in the same state and could visit each other, see each other on a regular basis. But that, so we were friends for like 50 years.
Yeah.
Kept in touch for all that time. So I'll let everybody know Sheldon, but Sheldon, if you want to.
I met Sue at a very early age.
So
my name's Lori, and Susan was my best friend. I met her when she was 23. She went as assistant manager at Casual Corner, and I just decided I needed something to do after my full-time job, so I went and worked part-time, and that's how I met her. And we've been friends for probably, I don't know, 38 years or so. Long time.
Can somebody hear me?
yes.
Oh, good. This is Cheryl, her cousin. I cannot see you. Something happened on my phone, but hi, Sheldon.
Hi, Cheryl.
Okay, so at least I can hear you guys. Okay, great. I was having problems with my phone. Sheldon is Susan's father, and his father was my grandma Goldie's brother. So we are, what are we? Second cousins, Sheldon?
First cousins once removed.
Something like that. Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. It gets complicated. So yes, you can't see me, but I am Susan. And I got to know her later in life when my mom and would have everybody, the family, over to Minnesota where I live, and Sheldon and Susan and Joan, her mother, would come, and my other cousins from California or from all over California would come, and we would have a great time, and I got to meet her and we got to be quite close. So that's my story.
You're sticking to it?
Yeah, I'm sticking to it, kiddo. Yeah. Is Rana here?
She actually messaged me that she was sick and wouldn't be able to make it.
Oh yeah, she's got a lot of health issues. Okay.
She did, though. We did get her into the Zoom meeting the other day, so she was all ready, but she got sick.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear that, but she does have some, we talk every day. So I know she has some issues. So, okay, well, continue on. Now that I'm here, I'm glad.
Well, we are recording this, so anybody who misses it will be able to still see it.
Okay. And who are you now? I'm sorry, I missed that.
I'm sorry, I'm Connie. I was her childhood friend, and all through through the 50 years that we knew each other.
Oh, that's a long time. I have friends like that too for many, many years. So who else is joining us here?
So we're going around introducing ourselves.
Okay.
So, who wants
I'm
to go
Shelley.
next?
I'm Shelley. I'm Sheldon's cousin. And I'm not sure who that was just speaking.
Oh, Shelley, I'm Cheryl Frankel.
Okay, so
I'm your cousin.
you're a cousin that I've never met.
Long time ago at weddings. I'm telling you, I met you a long time ago at weddings. Who was your dad?
Ruby.
My dad was Ruby.
I remember Ruby and Maury, and my grandma was Goldie and Barbara. They were
Right.
all sister and brother. Right.
Right. I didn't know Goldie's family very much. Sheldon knew them, but I really never was up in that.
Right.
Got up there and never met you all. So
Right. But I do remember you at Rana's wedding and I think Arlene's wedding.
that's a long, long time
Oh, I'm
ago.
telling you, dear, I know, but I know the name. And whose brother is who's your sister? Who's your brother? Jeffrey?
Shaney and Jeffrey.
Okay, I remember Jeffrey well. Yes, and Shaney, I remember everybody, but it's a long time ago, yes. Well, it's nice to hear your voice.
Nice to hear your voice. And if you could see, you would see me as well, because I am
Right.
visible. I didn't know Susan very well. I only knew her in the last few years before you left for Arizona.
That's correct.
Right. Okay.
I'll
Yeah.
go next.
Sweet
Mike.
gal.
I'm Mike. I'm Lori's husband. I only got to meet Susan maybe half a dozen times when she visited Lori, and we once when we went up to the Chicago area. But I helped put together all the pictures that everybody sent, all the pictures and videos, and I feel like I've got to know her really well, because I've had to go over it and over it again. It's amazing how much you get to know somebody when you look at their pictures of their life and with all their friends. So I've really enjoyed it. I hope you guys do too.
I wish I could see them, and I hope that I can at some point, because like I said, my phone isn't working for anything except to hear you guys. So that's good.
You'll be able to see him because Mike's gonna send a link out, and we're gonna put it on YouTube.
Okay, great.
Everybody will be able to see it.
Nice. Beautiful. Well, I'll jump in. I'm LaTanya. I met Susan, I don't remember what year, but somewhere in the 2010s, maybe before or a little bit after. We met at a party for a friend who had a restaurant in Naperville. And at the closing party for that, we met, had a great time, kept in touch, and started, since we live close together, would do things there and about in the western suburbs up until they moved to Arizona, and then we kept in touch all the years in between.
And my family grew up in Chicago, so that's how we all knew each other, Sheldon and everybody, because my mom grew up in Chicago and we used to take trips to visit. But like I said, I didn't meet Susan until later also.
Well, I'll chime in, I guess, if people don't mind. My name is Karen Kelly. My maiden name is Kramer, so we were the other Kramers on Cumberland Street, where we all grew up and have the fondest memories. We all were one big happy family, and if we would fall down in front of someone's house, we wouldn't run to our own house to get a Band-Aid. We'd go to that mom and that mom would help us. So, you know, I feel like Susie, we call her Susie. So Susie,
Right.
Susie was a little sister to me. She was 5 years younger, always in a good mood, always but so cute and so happy. She loved flying kites. And every time I even think of a kite, I get a giant smile on my face, just picturing her with her kite in her trunk and finding an open
Yes.
and run around and be that kite, you know, so that was so fun. And one of my favorite stories of Susie, this was probably right before, maybe a year before they moved to Arizona, and we went to lunch. We went to Weber Grill, and we both ordered a burger. And she picked up her burger and she said, "I've been waiting for you." And she took a big bite out of the burger. It's so hard. Every time now, I'm not saying when I see kites, when I see a burger, I smile and I just Susie just being so happy to have that burger. And then the other last thing I wanted to say is I'm representing my mother, is sending her love to the Cumberland Street Gang and to everybody. Her blood pressure has been a little bit off, so she's not able to come on this call. And then my sisters too, they're working, but everybody you know, loves Sheldon and Susie and the gang. So love to all, and so glad that Susie was blessed with such great friends that are on this group here.
Karen, who is your mom?
My mother is Rosellen Kramer. We're not related to them.
No.
Our last
Okay.
name is, yes.
Okay, got it. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How old is Alice now?
Alice is going to be 100. Alice is Deb's mom. She's going to be 105, right, Deb?
Right, she'll be 105 on the
Oh my God.
16th
Wow.
of July, and she still lives in Cumberland Street, one house away where Joni and Sheldon and Susie lived.
Oh my God. 105. Wow. That's something.
Yeah,
That
I guess
is.
Karen got me thrown in here. So my maiden name was Selke, Debbie Selke. We lived, my mom and dad moved from Chicago to Cumberland Street in October of 1956. My mom is still in the house. Like I said, she's going to be 105 in July.
Oh
And
my.
I was there the day they brought Susie home from the hospital. A funny
Okay.
baby story about Susie, and I know Shell's probably gonna go, Deb, don't tell this one, but Joni couldn't figure out why Susie was looking orange. And
Orange.
my mom
Okay.
said, Joni, what are you feeding her? And she goes, well, I've been giving her carrots.
Oh,
You gotta switch up.
no wonder. Yeah.
Yeah, but I used to babysit Susie too, and one of my very favorite babysitting stories with Susie is when we got older, I called her Susan, but she's always Susie to me, like Karen said, is we were watching Hollywood Palace. Her mom and dad went out to dinner or something, and so she introduced me to matzah, and we were eating matzah, and I don't know how she got into the maraschino cherries,
Yeah.
but she ate the whole jar of them.
Oh my.
So to this
Oh, my.
day, she never could even look at
You
maraschino
cannot
cherries.
look at them again.
Yes.
Yeah, so I would see Susan here and there, and then in 2013, I had a huge life change. I got divorced after 22 years of marriage, and Susan, oh my God, she was my rock. I would need hours to tell you what she meant to me and what she did for me.
Mhm.
But like one day we were unpacking some of the stuff into my townhome, and she goes, what kind of contraption is this? Everything was like, she was so mature and so, I don't want to say worldly, but so childlike in so many ways that she saw the joy of things that a kid would see, you know? She always would say, hang in there, keep, hoping this is going to be okay. And we love to fly kites. We always would go on swings.
Yep. She
And
would bring kites to Minnesota, and she also loved to blow bubbles.
Oh,
We blew
yeah.
bubbles. Yeah.
She brought me to a friend. His name was Bob, but him and his wife, but she called him, what about Bob?
Okay.
I
Yeah.
remember, what about Bob?
What about Bob? And we went and he had a house in South Barrington, and it just goes to show what kind of people she surrounded herself with. Because when I walked in there, Bob made me feel like I was, one of their long lost friends too. We did karaoke. Susan and I took trips to Lake Lawn and up in Delavan just for the day. One time we spent the night with my kids. We would blare Chicago, Barry Manilow, all those songs, but yet she loved all the old standards of Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra. We would play all that stuff. And one more thing is, when I would go to her place, we would go into her refrigerator and just throw every vegetable that she had and cut it up and put it into a big pot. And one time, and just make this great soup, and we would drink this wine called Fancy Pants. That's what she called it. It couldn't be Fancy Pants, it'd be Fancy Pants.
Oh,
And would cut up a big loaf of bread and just play, Dean Martin. And one of the times we made the soup, Shell and Joni came over, and it was a little bit too spicy for Joni, but she grinned and bared it.
Yeah.
All the
Okay.
soup. But I'm still in disbelief because I don't have to explain. You get it.
Right. We do.
But she just was like my little sister.
Yeah.
And then this is my daughter, Michaela. And so
yeah, I'm Michaela. I'm Beth's daughter. I knew Susan through my mom. We all would hang out a lot and have dinners at Susan's house. It was super fun. And Susan was just like my other, I guess, like mom. I guess you could say she taught me to get my driver's license. That was really fun. And she'd always just give me like really, really great advice, and always just like be so like positive and hopeful for me in my future. So.
And Michaela just graduated from nursing school. She's an RN, and Susan had a lot to do with that.
Congratulations.
Oh, yay.
Thank you. But yeah, Susan was a really, really great friend. So, yeah.
I'm sorry I got to meet her so late. She didn't want to come visit, huh, Shell? Or maybe she just couldn't.
She couldn't. She had these crazy jobs.
Oh, that's right. Okay. All right. Yeah, but I'm glad we got to, be cousins and be friends and talk all the time. It was great. And then you'd come and visit, and it was great.
Oh,
We used to go thrifting a lot together too. And real quick, when I moved into my townhome after getting divorced, it took us 2 hours to set up my bed. I bought an old brass bed, and she had her toolbox in the back of her car, and we set it up. And I was like, okay, we did it. And she walked in with a bottle of the Fancy Pants and 2 glasses. She goes, we have to have Fancy Pants. This is to commemorate your, the start of your new life. And we got the bed together. It took us 2 hours. So
that's great.
Anyway, I'm Ron Harrington. I'm Connie's dad, and I met Susan when Connie did, when they were in the 3rd grade. And Susan or Stu, I called her Susie, but and she called me Dad. But she used to visit us a lot. We lived in Chicago, but then we moved to Maryland. So she would visit us in Maryland, and Connie would visit her. And it was a good friendship. Funny story that I remember one time when she was visiting us, and I think you all lived in Arizona at the time, but she had this notion. We were in Ocean City, Maryland, right on the coast. She said, I'm close to New Jersey, and there's this restaurant up in New Jersey that my dad used to go to or went to or something like that. And he got a paella. So Connie and Sue jumped in the car and drove 2.5 hours up to New Jersey. She got the paella, brought it back, and carried it all the way to Arizona.
Wow.
to Illinois.
No,
Funny story, really.
the restaurant was
I hope it was good when you finally got it.
Actually, though, she said Newark, and I was thinking Delaware, which was not very far away, but it actually ended up to be New Jersey. So,
It's almost near in New York.
yeah.
actually.
So, yeah, I was not, I was not aware of where we were actually going.
How was the paella, Sheldon? Did you get to
It was
taste it?
great.
I
That
bet.
restaurant was wonderful. It was called the Spain, but it was a
Yes.
Portuguese restaurant in Newark.
Yeah.
Well, I'll
Wow.
piggyback off of that. I'm Janine, and I almost got to meet you, Connie, that trip because we were trying to, I don't know, figure out a way for me to get together with you, but that happened Mother's Day, the time you were going, and it was unfortunately my mother-in-law's last Mother's Day, so I could not come and meet you guys, but that sounded like that was a blast. But
Yeah, that was
yeah,
fun.
yeah, and I actually met Susan in 1999 when I moved to Chicago, and I was interviewing with Tom James, and I don't know if you guys remember that when she worked there, she sold the men's suits. She fitted them, she measured them, tailored suits to each individual professional man, and I interviewed there. And
You know, it's a
I did-
small world because we have the Tom James factory in Westminster, Maryland, where we live.
wow,
Wow.
wow, and they still exist and everything. That's crazy.
Yep. Did you work there, Janine?
I never did. No, I interviewed there, and I guess I just maybe shadowed her, or I had a lot of questions, and so I spent a lot of time with her that day, but not that much time. But I mean, we just kind of clicked, and she's like, I like your energy. I want your phone number, and so that's what happened. We became friends after that, and I really only ever lived in the same state with her, like piggybacking off of Connie, for like 2 years. So from like 1999 to 2001, and we just had so much fun together. And but it's amazing how you could be such good friends with someone even though you're not living in the same state. And I miss her to pieces. Like this last year, I just keep thinking to call her, and just doesn't make sense. And just so many good and bad things are happening, and she's just not there to talk to.
Yeah.
So yeah. And during COVID, like, man, we logged a lot of time on the phone, on Zoom, on FaceTime, doing Pilates with Hannah, with Sheldon. Hannah and Susan were kind enough to teach me how to do Pilates over COVID, man. And that was just changed my life dramatically. And just Susan, we would have Sundays off. Hannah would teach 6 days a week on Zoom. And the 7th day I would still do Pilates with Susan, and we would do it, on our, she would have it on the computer, I would have my phone out, and she would be showing me each move, how to do it. She took so much time with everything, other things that she taught me how to do, and just researched, and she was always researching something, and just explaining different things that she knew about to me. And I mean, she said that that's kind of what she did with like a lot of people. So because in that last year I said, you always have something new to share with me, some new food or some new health thing or something. And she did. I mean, I took a lot of notes on things she told me, and she went all in. When she was in, she was all in. And she was my, she called me full of energy. She was an energizer bunny. I mean, she was amazing. And yeah, she totally changed my life, her and Hannah. And I got to know Sheldon a little bit too. I had never actually met him, so I got to meet him also on the Zoom and the FaceTime calls.
And he still does Pilates, my cousin Sheldon, don't you, Shell? Yep.
Great.
It's great. Yeah. And she would always be outside with me on the phone when we have a big garden with lots of flowers, and it's spring now, so all the birds chirping, and man, it's bittersweet because I want her to be on the other end of the phone talking about the birds, and just raving about how sweet they are and the sound of their chirping. And then I would show her my garden and all the flowers, and she would tell me that I I need to start some kind of a florist business and just somehow just make use of all these flowers. But I mean, I do try to give them to people, but she just kept trying to motivate me to, you know, just do something with them, turn it into a business. So who knows, you know, it's not too late. But anyhow, so she just always made me smile.
I would like to introduce Nick. He is one of Sue's old friends. I don't remember what year they met. He can't get unmuted. He's in a boat, I think, somewhere. So I just wanted to introduce him. Every time I would visit with her, Nick would also visit. And so, you know, we got to know each other really well. We used to go out, particularly when she lived downtown in Chicago, and we always had a good time. We would always meet up somewhere to get together and do something.
Hi, Nick.
She would always, this is Cheryl, her cousin, she would always call me on the way to having her nails done, or her hands and her feet. And then she'd call me on the way home after having her nails done. And I was always so jealous because I didn't do that a lot, but she always had to have her mani-pedi done. So we got to talk during that time. Yep, on the phone, in the car.
Yeah, we all spent a lot of time on the phone in the car with Susan.
Yes.
Thousands of miles.
She would call me and she'd say, "Are you thrifting today? Can I go with you?" So I would go to the Salvation Army or Goodwill, and we'd FaceTime, and she'd be in the cart with me.
Oh.
And we would thrift together. Shell has these 2 pictures of martinis that are really awesome that she went crazy over. And that was one of her treasured finds. They're really cool. And you still have them, right?
They're up on the wall here.
Yeah, they were really cool. But yeah, and I see a name Tansy there.
I don't know if you can see them.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I know Lori's name, you know, and it's nice to see a lot of the faces to the people that she talked about with me and loved so much.
Yeah. Well, since you mentioned my name, I might as well jump in. I'm Tansy Donovan. I met Sue. I always called her Sue. It was very hard for me to say Susan because I always called her Sue. We met in 1983 at Northern. She was a freshman and I was a sophomore at Stevenson Tower South on 10B. And we became friends, and it was just, I always loved her, always did. We roomed together in the summer. There were 5 girls in a townhouse. That was really fun. We have so many memories of her. Going to Madonna concert.
We got her tickets and she dragged us along.
Yeah, no. It was so fun. It was like one of the best concerts.
She
it's
dressed
not our
like
music.
a wannabe, you know.
She did. But like you said, she was all in. She had such a zest for life and just, and then when we had our children, she would come and spend time carving pumpkins with them every Halloween, going and picking out the pumpkins, carving them. We have a picture of an albino pumpkin.
Yeah.
Sparklers. She'd bring sparklers. She'd bring bubbles, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Play-Doh.
Bubbles and kites. Bubbles and kites.
Kite, yes.
We went to like a kite festival once where we saw them flying them professionally. There was one time where it was like, I don't know how late at night it was, but it was dark and all the stores were closed. We pulled over, it was me and Mom in the car and Aunt Sue, and we pulled over in like at Kohl's in a Costco parking lot and just were flying kites and whatever.
She always had them in her trunk. She goes, the wind is perfect, let's go. So we're flying kites in this empty parking lot.
And there's one that we crashed into a tree that it kind of just disintegrated there because we couldn't get it out. But
every time we drive by, we see the end of the yeah.
It was up in the tree for several years.
For several years.
It was right, the thing is, it was right over like traffic, so no one could really go up there to get it down. So we just kind of left it.
No, it was good. But we would spend a lot of New Year's together. All these events, like she would just come and hang out and play games. Oh my gosh, with my parents, with
And her
everybody.
parents came over.
And
which was
yes,
very
of
nice.
course,
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Kramer, exactly. And badminton in her backyard, or her George Foreman grill. I remember her grilling, and, you know, swimming pool, swimming, and
Nice.
bringing those bubbles. She brought
Yes.
bubbles that wouldn't break. The kids were
Yeah, we
trying to
took the
pop
corks
off. Yeah, Oscar
She
Mayer,
was the cool aunt to my kid.
the
This is-
very cool
To
aunt.
finish with introductions, this is Mike, my father.
Hello.
My parents.
Yeah.
I'm Kelly Donovan. I'm the middle child. In the corner, you'll see Adam Donovan, my younger brother. Older brother, Brian, he's currently going to get off of work today, but he'd like to join.
He's in Vermont,
yeah.
yes.
Each of the kids had a nice bond with her.
Oh, they really
Just-
did.
And I knew her as a friend too. I
Right.
had a class with her.
Badminton,
I had a bed in college, and I can't remember the first time I met her,
yeah.
but we were like this
Oh,
right
yeah,
away.
right away, right away.
Just so much energy. He was like the fun aunt. Like he always
Oh.
brought all this stuff. And even when there wasn't really anything like fun that was around, he'd somehow find like the most random thing and make it exciting.
Mhm.
Just even if there was nothing, like he'd teach us like how to do like hand, like like the
Oh,
rhyming
yeah.
games and stuff like
They
that.
say
like-
my plane.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Mhm.
And just a whole bunch of different things. So
And we had a girls' night.
yes, with
She-
the movies and stuff.
Right, she's like, we're just having a girls' night. Kelly, Sue and I went to her townhouse, and it was over Valentine's Day weekend, and she bought a stuffed animal for
Mhm.
Kelly, little dog.
Yep.
We ordered pizza, we watched Lion King 1.5. I mean, we played games. It was just, did nails, all the fun things,
Yeah.
girly things. It was just.
We
very
saw her
fun.
all the time before it. Well, not like all the time, but like at least for holidays and stuff like that. For
We did.
when he was in Illinois, then when he moved to Arizona, we got to meet her and hang out with the whole family and meet the cats and
Yeah,
all that stuff.
oh, no.
We're very
Double in trouble. I
Yeah,
keep,
trouble,
I
yes.
keep forgetting which one's which one's
No.
the girl.
We have a hard time too, so,
We have some good videos of them.
yes.
Yes, we do.
Very good. Good memories. And even an Oscar Mayer, every time she came to our house, I said, you don't have to bring something every time you come. Oh, this is just an Oscar Mayer whistle. I mean, just little thing, but it was just hours of entertainment. It was so fun.
She
So,
was irrepressible.
Oh,
She
yeah.
was just always up for
Mhm.
something.
yes, something.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it's great. And it is hard, like you say, we think of her and we're like, oh, and then, you know, it is hard.
I need to run, kids, but I have a poem I'd like to read.
Sure.
If that's okay, that I read. It's sad. I read it at my aunt's memorial. She passed a couple of years ago from COVID. She was very dear to me, but it's called When All That's Left Is Love, and it's by a rabbi, and it's a beautiful poem. So I'll read it and then I must run. I'm sorry. It says, when I die, if you need to weep, cry for someone walking the street beside you. You can love me most by letting hands touch hands and souls touch souls. You can love me most by sharing your goodness and multiplying your acts of kindness. You can love me most by letting me live in your eyes and not on your mind. And when you say Kaddish, which is our prayer over the dead, remember what our Torah teaches. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. And I love that, and I think it says it all. But thank you for letting me join. And Sheldon, I will talk to you soon. Okay, dear?
Okay.
All right, I must run because my cat is not well and I have to go fix her right now.
Good luck
Okay.
to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Well, do we want to start the pictures, Connie?
Does anybody else want to introduce themselves? Hannah, Marcia?
I'm trying to figure out the technology here.
We can hear you.
Headphones too.
We can hear you,
Can
Hannah.
you hear me?
Yes.
And then let me see how I can do my camera. I don't know. I was trying to be visible. How are you
Um,
visible? Oh,
You have to
wait.
look for the little camera thing.
Oh, I see it. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Hey,
there you go.
hey, I did it. I am so grateful that Susan came into my life. And I'm actually sitting in the exact spot that I met her in. And it's like playing, what is it, 7 degrees to Kevin Bacon, 6 degrees to Kevin Bacon, because she just had so many connections, so many amazing connections. And she was such a vibrant spirit. And I dearly miss her. I miss her very much. And I've met so many great people from her. So, and I enjoy teaching Sheldon. He's still rocking it with the Pilates.
Yay.
All right.
I see Mari's on. Mari Bengues, she grew up with us on Cumberland Street.
Mari,
And
you're
is it-
muted. Oh, I'm sorry, but she's muted. Maybe she doesn't know that. Maybe she wants to talk.
Yeah. Mari, you're muted.
You may not be able to connect. It depends on the type of device.
Is Marsh, is it the Marcia that is Susan's cousin?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, Marcia. It's Deb. I used to come and meet you downtown and have lunch with you and Susan.
And we have pictures of it too.
We do.
So we can, I think,
Yes,
we want to move on to look at the slideshow that Lori and her husband put together.
Well, mostly like
All the pictures that everybody supplied should be very nice.
And if anybody wants to make a comment about the picture, he can pause it and we can talk about it.
It starts with her baby pictures and kind of a chronological order of as she gets older. Towards the middle, I think they're a little bit mixed up age-wise, and then towards the end there's some video. So I'll start it. Let me yep. 1 second. My screen's only so big. Now I'm okay. Let me share. Can you see the screen?
No.
I cannot.
How about now?
No.
No.
Did I share?
You have to make him a co-host so he can share the screen.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
All right, give me a second.
We like your background, Hannah.
Yes, it's awesome, Hannah. Thank you.
Isn't that great? She loved doing Pilates. She
Oh, yeah.
just loved doing Pilates. I was so glad she shared with Janine. Janine was able to do Zoom, as she was saying before. It was fun.
Share. How's that?
There you go.
Yes. Yes.
All right, now we're getting there.
Ah.
Oh my gosh.
Look at.
Second. Okay.
Hmm.
I don't want this on there, but there we go. All right, you can see it all. Everybody can see it?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Oops,
I know that, baby.
wait a second. I think okay, it's running now. It just each one shows for about 5 to 8 seconds. There we go.
Ah, yes.
Diaper butt.
The famous view.
Pilates are
Starting Pilates early.
You got that right.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
That's her face.
It is.
It
It's
is.
starting to look like Susan there.
Right.
No.
Looks like a little doll.
Yeah.
Who's that lady, Sheldon?
That is my Aunt Eva.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Hey Mary, here's a little lamb with faces white as snow. And everywhere that Mary went, the lamb will shadow go.
It's all
And
over.
there's still Wednesday, but what's against the world? Some made the children laugh to see a lemon stroll.
Candy, Sandy, Jack and Sandy,
Lump cake and sugar candy. He bought some at the grocery shop and then he came
Oh wow.
Typical.
I think that was her 3rd birthday.
Oh, so cute.
Oh, wow.
Sorry about
My dad made that coat for her.
Mm.
And she's wearing his cap, his hat.
No.
That's so cute. Oh, little kid.
Aw.
Is that an outhouse?
No, we went for a trip up in what was that? I can't remember now.
How old is
Traverse
she?
City. A friend
That
of
must
mine
be
from work.
That must be a Fairview School picture.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would like to just say, one day she asked me to cut her hair and I'd never done it before. So I did it and I gave her sprouts. Her bangs were up here. I didn't know hair shrunk. And that picture, she had the sprouts.
That was her cap buttons.
No.
And these are the pictures, you know, when you gave them out when you were in class at the end of the year. So I collected all of them and put them in a collage.
Smile.
Graduation.
It's right before I moved to Maryland.
That's us. That's me and my brothers for that one.
I nannied those 2 little girls and they loved Susan. And that was a trip to Lake Lawn in Delavan, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
We flew kites.
Those are our friends from the chorus.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Those are fun sunglasses.
Yeah.
I remember when she got those.
We were at Morton Arboretum that day.
My friend Mary Baker.
That's when we went all over the UK for 3 weeks. We had a great time.
Oh, there's my parents. Cumberland Street, yes.
a nice picture of everybody.
It's
Yeah,
us at the chocolate factory.
it's 2017, June, yeah.
Oh. That's Barbara, our good friend.
Yeah. That's at Tony's Pavones. I could see Tony in the background.
Okay.
Oh, me and Mari. Look at me, the short hair.
It's a Tony's school.
Yeah.
That's a list. There you are. Mike.
It's the anniversary. That was their. Will.
Yeah. That's
Yes.
before they left to Arizona.
No.
Figures are here.
No, that's a good picture of her.
That's cute.
That was a picture at some job. I don't know which.
Yeah, one of her jobs.
I see the bulletin board.
I remember.
That's a cute picture, Connie.
I think it was from my birthday party.
Oh.
That was the chef that owned the restaurant that we met at. And we hung out and cooked together and did things together.
Nice.
That's great.
So this was right before COVID,
Oh. Mhm.
Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
More Morton Arboretum.
Just the more
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
Quinceañera casa.
So this is, she says, this is me and Stumpy before we got along. This was in Arizona and she went horseback riding.
Mhm.
And then she says on the back of the card, things are much better now. Then we went panning for gold. We found basically nothing. It was a lot of hard work too. And that was us on the cruise ship. We were just sitting on our patio and drinking coffee.
Nice.
Yeah, of course, the sled dogs. We had to pose with the sled like we were going to actually take it somewhere.
Sure, sure.
Then we were riding through Denali on a train.
Wow.
I don't know where she got the hat.
I was just gonna ask you that.
Leave it to her.
No idea. That's before panning for gold.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to buy suitcases because we bought too many souvenirs to get back home.
That's great.
This was at my wedding, and these are some of the Illinois girls
Oh.
that knew Susan, that we all kind of hung out together.
Mhm. Mm.
And those are more Illinois friends.
That was at La Hacienda de Roselle.
No.
Again.
It's the Alaska. We were shopping, and there was a moose, and I had to get a picture of her with it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's an old picture.
This was
Look at
our
that.
birthdays. His birthday was the day before mine, and Lori's is a few days after, and that was Nick in there with us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is Susan at my townhouse putting our scrapbooks together of our vacations.
Yeah.
This is when I first met her. She came to
Oh.
my apartment. We had movie night. There was probably about 9 of us there. So
Oh.
she picked a spot on the floor. She was probably 3 there. There she was at my wedding.
Oh.
Here she is. Here she is posing. I love this one. And here she is not.
I know that look.
Yeah. We put that scrapbook together and just thought it was the funniest thing.
This is us.
Watching movies.
Here's
Yeah.
Mom.
There's
Anna,
Anna.
Anna with a little finger.
Oh,
This is
archery.
Yeah.
Yes, she went in the woods with my son was 4 and she tried her hand at it. She'd never done it before.
always up for things.
This is a birthday.
I-
Oh, it's Uno
I
attack.
think this is New Year's Eve and we're playing Uno, I think. I think he'll come up, but you'll see us again.
Definitely Uno.
Yes.
We'll ask it now. Her comment is, I'll diet when I get back.
Ah.
Went and saw the totem poles.
Ah.
Probably heading off to some excursion.
Where was that?
Alaska.
No, where in Alaska?
Oh, Ketchikan probably. This is European now. Got them a little mixed up. This is at the Roman Baths.
Look at how chic.
Very chic.
That was one of our first stops there.
Chocolate factory.
This is us in Arizona. Arizona.
It was in Glendale.
Oh, that's us, the millennium, New Year's Eve, 1999. And
Yep. That was a cute picture.
I think it was in Scottsdale. We like them all.
Yeah.
And there was a mist behind us.
Yes, he recommended the place.
Ah,
That's a good one.
it might be a birthday.
That was at the nursing home.
Yeah.
John was. John said, "Your hair is tickling me."
No.
That's a great
awesome. I like that picture.
Great picture.
Something was funny.
That was 1991.
Wow.
Same. Right?
No.
That was the Morton Arboretum just before we moved.
Oh, I've never been there. That is nice.
It is nice.
Were you staying in the hotel then?
No, that was from the house. We were not that far.
Oh,
It's a
Well, now it is.
yeah.
It's
Here's
a
me.
chocolate factory.
Chocolate factory.
Yeah.
Golly.
Yeah.
Good under the heart.
He was good at posing. Very nice.
Mhm.
And there's
The samples.
the samples, of course.
We
I was
even-
gonna say, yeah. Did you get free samples?
We
Yes.
did,
Yeah.
and we met the owner. We thought he was just an older worker working
This,
there.
this old guy is standing
Wow.
there sorting things.
This is my father.
Yeah. And we're like, they don't even let this guy sit down. And he goes, I'm the owner.
Yeah.
Another detail.
There's the-
Yeah, that's in
Yeah.
Arizona.
Mhm.
No kitchen. Mhm.
It was probably a breakfast. Oh, I taught tap and ballet, and Karen arranged for her parents to come and see my girls' recital.
Aw, that's sweet.
And
Very
of course,
cool.
Susan came to everything I did.
Yeah.
Of course.
Of course. My mom.
Back again.
Oops.
Alright. That's really good. That's weird.
Ah, yes, trip to Flagstaff.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
I noticed Susan has gloves on.
Yes.
Nobody else does.
Didn't want to read the nails.
That's Adam. That's the youngest. There's Mike and
There's
Kelly.
us.
Yeah.
You don't want to touch
She
it.
had an albino pumpkin. She found an albino pumpkin. It was all
Oh,
white.
that's cool.
But, yeah, it was cool. Oh, this is at a Wolves game. She came with us. It was a scout outing.
I had to look at that picture twice because I tried to get her to go to some sporting events and
Oh,
she
yeah.
she didn't have it.
Oh.
This was their farewell party before they moved to.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Chocolate Factory.
Chocolate Factory.
I like Joan's hat.
Yeah. It's a mole of Santa in the back. Really.
Oh.
Oh,
That's a nice shot.
that is a great, that's a
Mhm.
great picture.
No, that's
No, that's cute.
Oh,
There
that
it is.
famous
And there's
carrot
the
cake.
carrot cake.
There it
That's
is.
great. Oh,
Was that Eddie Merlot's?
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
right. This
Yeah.
one. Brian's got the book. Yes.
Wilma, we'll have to go there.
Yes.
Brian made
Did he
it.
make it? Nice.
Mhm, he did. Nice. Mhm.
this is
Aw,
It's
that's-
Arizona. That was our dinner. I think it's
Yeah.
Scottsdale thing.
Yeah.
I actually don't remember that.
That was when we all went, there was a mist behind us.
Oh, that, yeah, that's.
That was that restaurant.
Mhm.
I don't know what it was called.
I don't know what it was called. That one was a wild child or flower.
Yeah,
child.
something like
Not that one. Oh,
aw.
They're doing Help Me, Rhonda.
Never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. The other night, dear, when I lay sleeping, I dreamt I held you in my arms. When I awoke, dear, I was mistaken. And I held my head and cried. Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfilled. For my darling, I love you, and I always will. Love me tender, love me true. My darling, I love you, and I always will.
Aw.
very nice.
Oh. Well done.
Well done.
That was awesome. Thank you, guys.
Really nice.
That was very nice.
One more.
Thank you. Thank you.
Not over yet.
Okay, thanks for calling 630-362-7434.
Great
Please
day.
leave a message and your call will be returned as soon as possible. Thanks again. Make it a great day.
Make it a great day. Yes.
Make it a great day.
That was nice.
It's a wonderful presentation you did, Mike.
Yeah.
Ah,
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh,
Oh, it looks like Mari is muted.
Mary, do you want to say something?
I'd like to read a few notes that I made.
Okay.
Susan had a loving character. She wanted to like and get along with everyone, and was sadly disappointed with some of the people she met, usually job related. However, every job she worked at, she made friends. Many lasted a lifetime. She worked at many different jobs in sales, None of them lasted any significant length of time. She always tried to improve the way things were done and offered many suggestions. She was sometimes rebuffed as a troublemaker. Susan made friends wherever she went. She had a huge smile and an open heart and tended to bring out the best in people she met. Some are lifelong and some are more recent. For example, she was in the hospital and she made friends with one of the nurses. The woman helped Susan at home once when we needed her. At Dr. Gerhardt's office, she befriended everyone there, even some of the clients. We moved to Arizona almost 7 years ago to get away from the cold and the stairs. Joan was in early stages of Alzheimer's disease. Susan was going to take care of us both. Joan declined faster than many Alzheimer's patients do, but she was taken care of by Morella and her family, and undoubtedly lived longer than she would have at the various homes she was at. As Susan was dying, she wanted to see her friends, and some old friends did come, the Donovans and Connie. Others wanted to come but couldn't. Susan wanted to eat food from her past, Portillo's salad, Italian style pizza, and ice cream. She wanted me to read her a nursery rhyme that we read together when she was a toddler. A farmer went riding upon his gray mare, bumpity bumpity bump, and I would bounce her on my knees. At the end, she just wanted me to hold her hand.
I would like to read a poem for my friend Susan, if I can. The moment that you left me, my heart split in two. One side filled with memories, the other side died with you. I often lay awake at night when the world is fast asleep and take a walk down memory lane with tears upon my cheek. Remembering you is easy. I do it every day. But missing you is a heartache that never goes away. I hold you tightly within my heart, and there you will remain. You see, life has gone on without you, my friend, but it will never be the same.
That's for sure.
That was beautiful.
Well, thank you, everybody, for joining in.
Yes, thank you.
I got 4%.
Thank you all for putting it together.
Oh, that's a lot of work.
We will send everybody the recording, link to the recording.
And then a link to where
Video.
Mike is going to post the pictures and stuff. And he'll be out there on his YouTube. So thank you, everybody.
And it was nice.
Thank you, guys. God bless.
Thank you.
God bless.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.